back to my channel. So in this video I'm gonna be just doing like a natural drugstore slash affordable makeup tutorial. So first thing that I'm gonna do is prime. So I have an affordable primer. This is from BlackUp. This is their Strobbing primer, and it's also supposed to be like a blurring type of primer, so it's supposed to like blur my pores. I put a lot on my nose, so I'm just gonna bring it onto my chin because I have pores right there too. And I feel like I do have a lot on my forehead too, so I'm just gonna take some of that away. So for my eyebrows, I used, it doesn't have the name on it, but it's a Covergirl eyebrow, like a dip brow. You can find this in your local drugstore. This is how it looks. It has a little brush part. It's kind of cute and convenient. And it also just opens like this, and there you go. So they are, it's the perfect shade. This is the darkest shade. I feel like it blends in with my hair color perfectly. And then I also went in with the Maybelline Brow Precise. And this is in the shade Deep Brow, and I went through with the spoolie on here because that's also very convenient too. And I brushed the hairs into place. And lastly, what I'm going to do is use my Maybelline Brow Drama in the shade Deep. So I'm going to use this to just lay down all the brow hairs into place so it does not move throughout the day. I went a little bit thicker on my brows just because I haven't got them done. And I'm actually loving how it looks. I haven't worn thick brows in a minute. I think it's going to be my new thing once again. I stopped doing my eyebrows this thick because a lot of people were like telling me that it was too much. But I don't care anymore. I'm going to do what I want. So as for my foundation, I am going to use the True Match, the L'Oreal True Match in C10. And I'm just going to dot this on my face. A little bit darker than me, but I like to use, I'd rather go darker than lighter just because I can highlight and it'll balance out. I also try to match my neck and not my chest because my chest is way lighter. It's kind of hard for me to tell people like how they should match unless your neck matches your chest perfectly and you're just 100% perfect. You're always gonna struggle with that. So I personally like to match my neck because it's my neck. I'm gonna spray my face with a little bit of setting spray just to get this going. I like to use tapping motions because it diffuses it out like skin and it doesn't leave me looking cakey. So that's why I like mainly tap, and sometimes I swipe here and there, but I don't like to usually use a lot of swiping motions that it'll leave a streak like around my mouth. I have what is it called? I have laugh lines, so I like to get in there because if I tap, it's just gonna sit right on top. So as you can see, it matches my neck pretty good. I'm gonna bring it up to my hairline. By the way, guys, I did so good on my hair today. I'm shook. So for concealers, Drugstore, I have my Maybelline Instant Age, and this is in the shade Hazelnut. This is the darkest shade. And I also have my, Milk makeup, and yeah, so I'm going to use the darker shade, and that is Deep, to correct any of my problem areas. You don't have to do this part. It's really not that necessary. But I like an extra step. I like to look super beat and super, you know. So I'm going to be doing this step. And I'm going to use the same brush that I used to blend that out. So if you want, you can just leave it at this step and go ahead and set it. But I love a highlighted look, so I'm going to go ahead and use my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. And this is very light on me, so I'm going to be very generous. I also like to come super close to my nose, just so it gives me like a snatched look. I'm placing this in the areas that I normally would highlight, like so. Nothing too dramatic. I'm also going to go on top of my lid area to cancel out darkness. And using the same brush that I use for my foundation, I'm going to blend out the concealer. I'm going to keep this concealer right underneath me eye. Right underneath me eye. Because I don't want to bring it far, because it'll highlight anywhere that you put the concealer. It'll bring attention to that area and it'll make it more visible. Blending actually really takes time. You have to make sure you take your time and you don't rush this, because that's how you're gonna get that flawless beat. Concealer is really like, concealer and lashes are two things that I cannot live without, because it just makes me really step up my game. It makes me look upgraded, you know. And me blending out the eyes kind of took away that concealer on my nose, so I'm just gonna go ahead and blend out the rest. And I'm going to blend out my forehead. I like to bring it down the center of my brows and just around this area. And next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and contour. I have two options. So contouring for dark skin really isn't a joke. It's super hard to find the right contour shade that is dark enough and is the right undertone for you. I have two options. One is affordable. Another one you probably already have if you're my skin tone. The affordable one that I'm talking about is this brand called KoyVoca, and this is how it looks. This is a little bit more on the cool side, so I don't like to use it that often, but it's also very good if you're darker than me. It'll be amazing on you. I used to love this until, wait for it, this new contour shade that everybody has, and that is the Fenty Beauty Espresso. If you are my skin tone, then you probably have this. For me, this is too light. It doesn't really work as a contour, but I'd like to use it as a bronzer. Okay, so I'm going to show you how this looks on my skin tone. Very dark. It's cool. It's on the cool side, so contouring with this will be great. But I think it's too cool for my skin tone, so I'm going to mix a little bit of the Fenty Beauty on top of that. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and keep using the rest. I'm going to contour the rest of my face. And taking the Fenty Beauty Espresso, I'm going to mix that in, because this is a little bit too warm for me that you can't really tell that it's a contour. So I'm going to use it as a bronzer. And that's going to warm up this contour that's underneath it. And I like to use this one to contour my nose because I'm good with a little bit of warmth on my nose. I'd rather it be warm than cool. So I'm just drawing two lines as close as possible. So there we go. So first things first, I'm going to blend out the contour and the bronzer together. I'm going to mix the two and see how that works. I'm pushing upward because I don't want my contour to be down. It'll give me a shadow. And I want it to give me like a lift. And that's why we suck in our cheeks. So me looking straight ahead, you can already see like the little carved contour. And that's the illusion that contour gives. Versus on this side, you cannot see that, you know, lift. I'm going to go ahead and do the same to this side. And now I'm going to be using my setting powder. And I found the best setting powder in the world. This is the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade Dark. And I'm not sure if this is the darkest shade. I'm pretty sure this is the darkest shade. But it melts right into my skin. It makes me look so flawless and not too orangey or yellow. You know, like how baking powder usually makes you look. It don't make me look like that. So I'm going to go ahead and bake with that. So what I'm going to do is take some like this, blow off the excess powder, and just press it under my eye. I'm going to basically tap it into my skin until it dissolves. And I'm going to bring it to the side of my nose. This is going to help snatch my contour even more. I'm just highlighting all the areas that I put the lighter concealer. So I'm going to go on my lid area to set that concealer also. You want to make sure you set any cream or liquid product, because then it will move throughout the day on your face. And you want to look as matte as possible, especially if you have oily skin like me, and it's getting warmer outside too. So now I'm gonna go ahead and blend out the contour on my nose. I'm using my finger because it's more precise rather than using a brush. A brush will probably mess up the straight line, and I wanted to keep it as straight and as blended as possible. I have more control over my finger than a brush also, so that helps me out a lot more. So this is good. So what I'm going to do is take the tip of this little beauty blender and just highlight the center of my nose. And this is going to help clean up the contour up a bit also. So like that. And to set my contour, like I said, you have to set any cream or liquids. I'm going to be going in with the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette. And this is in the shade, I'm pretty sure this is, oh yeah, medium to dark. You can find this at like your local CVS or Walgreens. I'm taking the darkest shade, which says Contour. And I'm just going to use this in circular motions on my cheekbone. And I'm also going to lightly dust against my forehead. And on my jawline. I'm also going to take a little brush, one with no product on it, and take some contour shade and go down my nose. And one tip that I like to do to make my contour stand out more is I like to reverse contour, but not with a concealer, but instead with my setting powder. So I'm gonna go ahead and right where my earlobe ends, just go right down directly to the side. And I'm going to bring it upward because I want my cheeks to be lifted. or to give it the illusion that it's lifted. I'm connecting it to the bottom of my lip, giving myself basically like a stash or like a beard. Yeah, like a beard. And now to put a little bit of color back into my face, I'm gonna go ahead and first I'm gonna dust away the excess powder that's just chilling on my face. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Sleek Makeup blush in Sunrise. This used to be one of my favorite blushes, but then it broke. You can get this probably at your local store. They don't have it at mine. We don't have any Sleek products from where I'm from, like in your drugstore area, so I usually just order it online. It's very affordable, so I'm going to use it and just lightly dust it on my cheeks, going upward, because it has a little bit of, you know, golden, and this gives me a little bit of a highlight, like a natural highlight. I'm going to do the same to this side. So now that that is done, I'm not going to highlight because I already like, you know, the subtle highlight that the blush gives me. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that same blush and just use it to highlight the tip of my nose, my Cupid's bow, the bridge of my nose, and a little bit on my brow bone. So now that I'm looking cute, alright, so now that I'm looking a little bit decent, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my liner and my lashes. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and use my mascara. This is my Scandleyes mascara from Rimmel London. I've had this for a really long time and it still hasn't dried out. And I'm going to go ahead and try something new. I'm going to line my waterline with a brown pencil. And I'm going to be using Kiko Precision eyeliner. Kiko is the most affordable like makeup that's like high end in the entire world. Okay, not in the entire world, but it's so good, guys. I love this liner. I haven't done eyeliner in a minute, so I'm very nervous. Okay, let's do this. So I still got it. I just lined my eye and I'm like so impressed. I literally haven't done eyeliner in like months, guys. Months. So I'm gonna try to duplicate it on this eye. Attempt, okay? This is gonna be an attempt. Got this, Natalie. Come on. For lashes, I do not like drugstore lashes like that. I mean, I don't mind drugstore lashes. They're still pretty good. But I love dramatic lashes. So I'm going to be using my Huda Beauty lashes in Jade 13. I'm like so dramatic, so I need dramatic lashes. And Huda Beauty makes some of the best, the absolute best lashes. But they're very, very expensive. For lashes, it's like $20 for lashes. So, but I believe the more expensive sometimes, the better. Sometimes. In this case, it's true. Because I've worn these multiple times. And they're still in the same condition. So now I'm going to take a brown lip liner and just line my lip. This is not an affordable liner. This is from Urban Decay. I absolutely love Urban Decay products. They're just so creamy and so smooth. But you could use any brown liner that you have at home. And lastly, my favorite nude lipstick for my skin tone that is Drugstore is the Revlon Mink. See, it's almost done. I've used them all up. And last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of a light concealer into the center of my lips. So like this. And I'm also going to use my finger to blend that. Just staying it in the center. So lastly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and spray my face. I'm using my Smashbox primer water. You can use regular water. Honestly, I used to use water all the time because it works. It's just supposed to take away any of your like ashiness or like patchiness, you know, that you got going on. If you do got that going on. If you don't have to spray your face. You could just let your natural oil seep through and give you that like natural beat look. But I'm just gonna go ahead and spray it anyway. So this is the final look, and I hope you guys like how this look came out. Give me a thumbs up. Like, I have got this natural beat down, and everything that I used was affordable except for the lashes and the eyeliner. But my brows, my skin routine, my lips, everything is affordable, and some of them are in drugstore, some of them you have to go online. But I hope you guys like how this look came out. If you do, give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think down below. I've already said that. I'm just so hyped. Like, wow. I don't ever usually do like natural looks because I just felt like it was so boring, but I think I might start rocking a natural look more often. So see you in the next video. Peace.